Hey everybody, Steven here. I have a kind of a long night last night. I for some reason woke up and couldn't go back to sleep, and I'm starting a new job soon, which is great. So I probably was thinking about that a little bit, but I also for some reason tarp rigging methods got into my head. So hopefully you can see me here. So I thought up kind of a different way of doing essentially the top ridgeline tie outs. So the first thing that I would say, and if you're interested in filming with your phone, at the end I'm gonna just touch a little bit on what I use and stuff. So feel free to wait until the end and I'll kind of touch on that. But the other thing I'll say is that it just popped into my head. So there's probably other people that do it this way and that have shown it done this way. So I'm not claiming to have created this. I know the community gets sometimes a little about, like Fairy Dragon 1212 created that, 8 years ago on the hammock forums. And if other people have created this and if you know about that and stuff, feel free to leave a comment, but I'm not claiming to have created this. I mean, these knots have existed since probably before people wrote. So this is just another way. So I did order continuous ridge lines from Myerstech, and they're really cool, but I am not the biggest fan of continuous ridge lines. I mean, I think they're great if you're doing like something with like pole mods and stuff. It's nice to have a ridge line above the hammock to put that over, and certainly nothing wrong with continuous ridge lines, and a lot of people like them. Depending on how you have them rigged up, you can use prusik nuts on them, and that can make the adjustment of them really fast. But I always find that I have a hard time getting them as taut as I can with just end tie outs that I tie to the trees. So and for me, I like a really tight tarp and stuff. So I did show in a previous video another easy way using a Beckett hitch of tying your hammock, your hammock and your tarp up, but this is just another way I thought of. So hopefully you guys can see these well. So I got these from Myerstech, and these are basically a continuous loop with a button knot. Then I also did get from him, and I did pre-do this now, even though I haven't rigged this up yet, so we're kind of all doing this together. So I did get from him some continuous loops that I've basically made into a prusik, and then I made this tie out myself. So I have a buried loop on the end there, and I come down to the end and I just buried the end. So it's about like maybe a 13 or so foot long loop here. So when you're doing this, and I do apologize, I have to turn this a little bit. So when you are doing this, you're gonna want to know the top and the bottom of your tarp. So you'll want to take your tarp out now. Just for the sake of showing you this real easily, I'm not going to take it out or anything, but we're gonna imagine that this is the top of the tarp and this is the bottom. Okay. So, and like I said, I haven't even done this yet, so it may not even work all that great. So with my button knot, I'm gonna come in from the bottom. Okay, so I'm coming in, and I'm gonna run the button knot through the hole. Okay, so that button knot is running from the bottom. Now with my line here, I'm gonna take this and go in from the top. Like I said, I just thought this up, so it might not even work all that well. So we'll see. I'm gonna run the button knot through there. Okay. Then I'm going to take the rest of my tie out line and run it through here. Like I said, you guys have probably seen this before. Probably not even showing you anything new, right? So cinch that down. And the reason why I wanted to do it that way instead of side by side is that way you're not creating any twist in your tarp. They're both combined together, and that button knot is sitting in the middle. So it can go either way without creating any twist. And this might not even be necessary. So as you can see now, our button knot is running out the bottom. This is running out the top, okay? So then what we're doing is going around our tree, okay? And then I have this prusik that I can slide back and forth, okay? All right? So then with my prusik, I'm just gonna come up, gonna put it through this hole, loop it over the knot, pull it tight, okay? So now I am looped onto here, okay? And then I've got my adjustment to pull it taut right there. And so like I said, I've never done this before, but I should be able to tension that down really tight. And you could tie an extra piece to the prusik as a loop to pull tighter, but judging from this, you don't need that. And then in order to really finish this, so I'm doing, zing it or lash it on zing it or lash it. You could do a smaller size, but I have the smaller size zing it and lash it here to save weight. So instead of doing a thicker line here and then doing a smaller size prusik to be able to grip on that line, which is traditionally what you need, in order to stop any slippage, and this really isn't even slipping, and I wasn't too worried about how many wraps I was doing in my prusik. Instead of worrying about this, then on the back end, I'm simply going to loop it around, pull it through, make a Beckett hitch. So now this is locked, so this shouldn't slip on you as long as you tie that Beckett hitch good. So that's it. So super fast, easy way. You unclick it like that, okay? And then you can pull your prusik a little bit, unhook your loop, and you're kind of doing just what you're doing there with hardware. Quick connect, okay? So like I said, you're coming up, pull it a little loose here, got your hole, you're gonna run your prusik loop through the hole, hook it over your button, pull it tight, and then you go ahead and grab your prusik, okay? Sorry. Pull your prusik tight there, and then you're gonna tie a Beckett hitch, hook it out, pull it tight, then you're good. So you have a completely taut, hardware-free, quick connect, in tie out. And then just real quick here, so what I'm doing is, so far I'm just filming these with my phone, and I have had some comments that they look pretty good, even though the setting's pretty bad. But what I'm doing is I have an LG V30 phone, which has a pretty good camera on it. And then I use something called Filmic Pro. So Filmic Pro allows you to shoot in a flatter profile, so the picture is flatter. So it looks really kind of dull, which is neat for those vintage, looking shots. But then I go into VSCO and I basically make it look how I want it to look in VSCO using filters. But what that allows is that flat profile allows you to have darker darks and lighter lights and just a little bit better pop to the picture. So that's essentially how I'm doing these videos. So I may go ahead and upload this now because it actually worked. And like I said, I haven't tried this yet, so I'm happy it worked. I'm actually going to convert these over to this method now, this Tarp, because I like it. So I'm going to go ahead and upload this now, and thanks for watching. And like I said, whoever created this, if it's not me, go ahead and tell me who. Not trying to take any credit for anything here, but it came to me in my head last night when I woke up from sleep and I couldn't go back to sleep. So it worked, which is cool. Thank you very much. Bye.